Or you want to tell me to spell out your first name?
Tina Osso, TinaOsso.
All right, Tina, what are you doing here at Sharon Harvest today? What's your job that you do here at Sharon Harvest?
I'm the executive director, means that the buck stops here, and I try to communicate the mission and vision of the organization and make sure that the spirit of what we're doing here stays rooted in the humanness of the services that we provide.
All right, how did you found Sharon Harvest? How did you get Sharon Harvest started and get it going?
Long story short, I helped start the Free Store Food Bank in Cincinnati and left there, was unemployed for a while, ran into a friend who was meeting with a group of people here in Butler County who had heard about this food bank thing and was interested in starting one here. And so I offered to get it organized, thinking that I was going to step away. That was 1983. So here I sit, still here. And that first year, we didn't have a warehouse. We had an old beat up Ford step van that I would drive around and pick up donations of food and then distribute it to the 12 charities that we had here in Butler County, food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. And so that first year we distributed 300,000 pounds of food, which to me, of course, felt like 600,000 because I'm the one that loaded it on the truck and unloaded it off the truck. Um, After we landed this facility, we began expanding into other counties. We now serve 5 counties directly from this facility: Butler, Warren, Preble, Dark, and Miami counties. And we contract with 4 other sister food banks to serve an additional 26 counties in the state of Ohio. So, all told, last year we distributed a little over 7 million pounds of food to about 90 charities in the 5 county area that we serve. And collectively, they served nearly 154,000 families who had nowhere else to turn except to a charity to ensure that they had enough food for their themselves and their families.
Okay, what are you getting at? What's the goal you want to get out by helping families in need, like to try to make sure that they have food and water and just make sure they have snacks because a lot of families there's some families that don't have the money to afford the groceries, so it's a really good thing to have.
So there's not enough to meet the need. I can tell you that. We know that even though we're distributing all the food that we can get our hands on, we know that there's a gap of about 6 million meals annually in the 5 counties that we serve. And so that forced us to begin taking a look at who we're serving and who the most vulnerable populations were. And the most vulnerable population experiencing hunger are children, which is why we started the backpack program, which I think your volunteers were involved in assembling bags of food for kids to eat over the weekends. That program started in uh, the 2006 2007 school year, right at the height of the recession. And we found that children who um, didn't have enough to eat on the weekends were coming into school on Mondays not prepared to learn because they had empty bellies. And so we started the backpack program, and that first year we served um, about 638 kids a week. This year we're serving 3,600 kids a week, and um, are on track to have distributed about 100,000 bags of food to children who, through no fault of their own, don't have enough to eat. And what does that do? We know that kids who don't have enough nutrition in their little bodies from the time they're born to the time they're 12 years old, their brains will not develop cognitively on par with their better fed peers. We know this. There's multiple scientific studies that link nutrition to cognitive development, especially for children. So if their brains haven't gotten the fuel that they need by the time they're 12 years old, the brain stops growing. Those kids won't have a chance to catch up. They will live a life struggling. So the impact that we have on making sure kids have enough food at least levels the playing field, gives them the opportunity to grow up and be productive adults because they have the brain capacity to learn.
To achieve their goals and, they want to achieve and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's very good. I love that. I love what you guys are doing here. How many volunteers and employees do you have working at this facility?
We have a total of 17 employees, three of which work out in the field. So 14 employees work out of this building. And on average, we have about 95 to 110 volunteers that come through this facility each month. But if you look at our whole network, the 90 charities that get food from us, all the people involved in the backpack program once it leaves this building, we're talking about 500 or 600 volunteers a month involved in hunger relief right here in Southwest Ohio.
That's awesome. What's your future goals you want to, when you move forward, like in the coming years that's coming, like 2020 and forward, what's your future goals you want to reach to that you would like to open also in Sharon Harvest?
Well, right now, our goal is to expand. As you can see from working in the warehouse, and if you've walked through our offices, we are busting at the seams. This is the first year that we've had to say we cannot grow the backpack program any larger than it is next year because we don't have the physical capacity to store the amount of food that it takes. And so we're launching a capital campaign to build another 50,000 square feet that can accommodate the growth in the backpack program and another program that we operate that feeds senior citizens. And we need to replace all of our equipment, which some of it is original to the early 80s. And so we're launching a $5 million capital campaign to build a building and replace all of our equipment and allow us to continue to grow and hopefully begin to close that 6 million meal gap that we have in the counties that we serve.
All right. Anything else you want to tell the viewers, Tina? Anything else you want to tell people that are seeing this video?
We couldn't do what we do without people like you who are willing to give us your time, your talent, and your treasure. For every dollar donated to the food bank, we're able to provide 7 meals to someone in need. Think about where else you can invest your money and get that kind of return. Know that we appreciate all that you do.
All right. Thank you very much, Tina.